When I go to the Yard House in downtown at the Gardens, I'm there for three reasons: beer, beer, and more beer.
It's our hook.
130 taps pouring 110 different beers. It's enough to put the beer guy into a state of nirvana. But having this many beers to choose from puts pressure on each and every bartender to know his or her stuff when it comes to barley, hops, and yeast. General Manager Mark Gray says training and education are very important.
When you have more obscure, Rogue, Flying Dog, any of the North Coast products, Lost Coast Brewery, people haven't heard of those, and your staff has to be able to suggestfully sell them in a way that is going to appeal to guests.
What appeals to me when faced with so many choices are the two different six-pack samplers that change every week. One for the casual or transitional beer drinker, the other for hardcore beer nerds like myself. And they'll print them out for you, and they have a description of each beer. You also have to make sure all that beer stays fresh, and Yard House does with a state-of-the-art tapping system that keeps the beer cold and the lines clean and oxygen-free on their long journey from the cooler to the tap.
But every time we change a keg, we pack that line full of fresh water, and that does two things. It helps prevent that yeast buildup that can sometimes happen if it's not done properly. And then secondarily, it helps us pack that line full of water so that when you tap into a new keg, that beer hits water, doesn't hit air.
There's music in the air here as well. Good music, chosen by Yard House founder Steele Platt on a daily basis, and 22 plasma television monitors which stay silent unless there's a major event. And, oh, by the way, there's food too. And Gray says if the beer hooks you, it's the food prepared in sight and artfully presented in a wide-open kitchen that reels people in.
They have an expectation of, hey, we're going to have some music and we're going to drink some beer, but then when they get a load of the menu, it provides us that opportunity to kind of exceed what their expectations were.
Going to Jamaica, watch them disappear.
The menu is pretty complex and pretty deep. Lots of seared tuna, ahi, sashimi, purple custard filet, New York steaks. We have a steak sandwich that's amazing. All of those items do real well.
As does the Yard House franchise, which is getting ready to open a second Florida location in Coral Gables while other restaurants are closing. So what is the secret to their success? The beer, the food, the music, the atmosphere, the two different happy hours with lower-priced beer and half-priced appetizers? It's all of the above, according to Gray.
We're Yard House, classic rock and roll, world's largest selection of draft beers, great food. We're all of these components, but we give each component the same amount of time and attention. It's not like food is more important than the beer, or beer is more important than the atmosphere. It's about how all of these different components work together.
And that works for me. I'm the beer guy, Dan Oliver, and I'll see you at the next watering hole.